Gabi. I came from Romania and I have 41 years old and I'm a spinal cord injury C5-C6 level of injury since 50 years ago. I had a diving accident and I broke my neck at C5-C6 level of injury, and I was completely paralyzed from the neck down. I didn't move and I didn't feel anything from the neck down. Well, first time I got epidural stimulation. I also got stem cells treatment, and I came back for second, third and fourth time right now because I had to get more programs for mapping process. And once I back home after the surgery, I also got a few programs because my muscles were very weak and I was not able to do many progress from the first time because of course after 23 years old, after 23 years in the wheelchair, it was quite difficult for me to get big improvements, but I did my best and I got some programs for mapping, and then we came back for the second time after 6 or 7 months, and then again 6 or 8 months later I came back for the third time according to my muscle activity, because it takes longer time to recover. You cannot recover immediately after the first surgery because muscle activity is growing up step by step and little by little. The muscles will recover in time. So I came back home, I did a lot of rehabilitation and the training sessions with epidural stimulation. And of course after that my muscles were growing up and muscle action and activity was also developed a lot. And muscle mass and strength was very well improved. And then I came back to get again a remapping process with my epidural stimulation to be able to do more movements, to be able to use other pairs of muscles which were recovered, and to be able to do more movements, to be able to take steps, to be able to stand up, to be able to move legs from hips, from knees, and also from ankles. So as I said, it's a long process. I mean, maybe it could take 2 or 3 or 4 years to recover, or to be able to stand and take steps independently or with support. For sure, for this moment, I need support to do that, because without support it's impossible. But for me, it's a huge difference in 2 years after epidural stimulation. Is a really huge difference. I got big improvements. Maybe I can say about 65 or 70% have been recovered. My muscles and my movements with the lower limbs. I can control lower limbs right now, and I'm able to do voluntary movements at this moment. Yes, usually I got epidural stimulation for the lower limbs and to control the lower limbs and to get voluntary movements of my lower limbs, which was happened of course. But in this time, because epidural stimulation has been implanted into the lumbar area, then for sure epidural stimulation is going to the upper limbs also, which means during the mapping I have that contraction of my hands and my arms. Looks like spasticity, but in the medical terms can be translated into the regeneration of the spinal cord. And of course it means that epidural stimulation is going to upper limbs also, not only to the lower limbs. Yes. From the first time after the surgery, I got small movements with my ankles and a little bit movements of my hips. And I came for the second time about 6 or 8 months later. Second time I got 5 new programs of the stimulator, especially for left ankle, for left hip, and for quadricep muscles, because my quadricep muscles were very weak and very difficult to recover. And the third time, after about 9 months, I came back again for the third time, and I got 6 new programs, 3 programs especially for quadricep to be able to stand and lock the knees, and also 2 programs for stepping, to take steps, assisted steps, and 1 program for right ankle, right hip, sorry. And now here we are for the 4th time, which is 2 years after my epidural stimulation surgery. And we came especially now for the left quadricep, because left quadricep is it's getting very strong now. It's better, much better than the past. And I got 1 new program for left quadricep, and I got 2 programs also for standing and taking steps with a higher frequency to be able to do more steps and to be able to have more power to do this, to take steps, assisted steps, of course. So for me, the biggest motivation comes from the progress that I'm getting, and from the progress that I've got. So I feel very motivated because I got big improvements. I saw that I got voluntary movements of my lower limbs and control of them, which means a lot to me, to see myself that I'm able to stand, first of all, with support, of course. Second, to be able to take steps also with support, which means a lot to me. And of course, I'm sure that for the future I will be able to improve more and more, and the situation for sure will be changed, my quality of life will be better, much better than now anyway. So this is the biggest motivation that gives me strength and power to move forward every day. I will encourage all the other spinal cord injury patients to try to don't quit, never give up, and if they have the possibility to come to get this treatment, to get epidural stimulation, also stem cells, which is helpful for epidural stimulation for motor function, and stem cells for sensation and the bladder and bowel. And I will encourage all the other patients, first of all, to never give up, and to try to keep the head up, stay optimistic, positive, and find motivation in every small thing that makes them to move further.